checking hives for the fall and making sure that they're good to go for the rest of the winter. This will be the last time we're going to be opening them up for the year, and take a look and see how many bees are we working with, and they're looking good. That's an uncapped, or that's a foundationless frame of a bunch of bees and honey, and that's out on the edge, and that's quite a bit of bees, I'd say, just for being on the outer edge of the hive.
Oh yeah, real heavy. Look at that.
Yeah, they've got adequate honey for sure.
Nice.
And Rick was saying they had a little bit of cross comb here where it kind of connected to this next frame over, but that's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Out right there.
Yeah, they're gonna sit there and clean it up.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is a nice foundationless, pure honeycomb, comb honey. And so we're just checking to make sure they're looking good going into winter here. And it is what, like November 12th right now, I think? November 12th, 2021 here. So it's pretty late in the year to be checking them, but got about a 70-degree day. Hanging up on something.
Look what we've got. We've got comb.
Oh yeah.
All the way out into here.
So the comb in the way.
What if I push this back? I can do it.
Yeah, so got a chunk of comb in there hanging this one up.
Still not coming. Or is it best just to leave it there?
Well, let's see if we can work it around, come out and kind of angle it. Yeah, there you go. Go straight up and see if you can, even if you have to take your hand and sometimes just break that a little bit, because, yeah, there you go. Just break past it.
Okay.
At some point, you're going to need to do it anyway, so it's like it's not too big of a deal. So again, the third comb now is just straight honey. We have not come across brood yet, but there's a good bit of food storage and a good bit of bees, it seems like, so we're doing good so far. And the sun is real low on the horizon already this time of year, and getting dark early.
Well, they've come a long way since we were in here last. And that was only 2 months ago, probably.
Yeah, they're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and smoke them a little bit. So maybe we'll get into
getting close to the queen here.
Hopefully. Wow, that's a lot of honey again. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty much careful setting it down. You don't want to squish too many there. Oh yeah, there's pretty much just honey and pollen on this side.
Beautiful.
And let's see, how does the other side look? Oh yeah, same thing. Just a bunch of honey and pollen. So they're putting it away for sure. They're ready to go for winter for sure. But you know, even if she were to stop laying babies, if she stopped laying eggs right now and making brood, it'd probably still be good all the way through winter, because she's got a lot of bees in there and plenty of honey storage. Wow, once again, pretty much straight honey. Oh yeah, that's all honey pretty much to the bottom, and then there's even a little bit of pollen in those holes. You can see it's kind of yellow. Man, are we ever gonna, I guess the brood must all be over here, because we've not come across brood yet.
I would think this hive is like tripled, I would think, since I've been in there too.
Yeah, there wasn't very much honey in it the last time. I think it was a lot of open comb. You had a lot of open cells with nothing in it, from what I remember. All right, so there's less honey, which means maybe down low, is there brood back there? Oh yeah, no, that's all uncapped honey in there where it's shiny. And then, yeah, I don't see any reason for there to be eggs there.
So far we haven't seen.
Man, they've really got a lot of honey.
All we've seen is honey.
So remember back whenever I made these hives, I spaced out every other frame was a foundationless frame so they could build more comb, and it seems that they definitely built more comb. They're getting a little crazy there. All right. Pretty much still just food storage.
Well, it looks like there.
Wow, that's interesting that they've got, so it's good they have so much, but same thing back here, yep. It's a lot of honey and pollen. Well, she may have laid her fair share of babies and been done. I don't know, we'll see.
Well, we know they weren't going to starve to death.
Yeah, and I thought that we were going to be I thought we were going to be moving frames together to kind of cluster them in the middle, but there's more bees in here than I was expecting. Alright, so I'm looking for the queen because this looks like an area where she might be, because this seems more like brood comb. Both looking for the queen here. And she could have, I mean, there could be eggs down in there, but she might also just be done brooding for the year. She might not be laying any eggs. Or she might just have this one final frame of eggs. We'll see. So Rick has 2 hives here. We're hoping to get both of these through winter here. No treatments. Trying to let them do their thing. Be as natural as they can be.
Oh wow.
Well, now they're starting to backfill this with pollen and honey.
That's what this is, right? Pollen?
Yeah, so they're kind of getting a little bit honey bound, honestly. They seem to not really have any room for brood. The good thing though is that they have a lot of bees, and so, you know, in my opinion, I think they'll be okay just to close them up like this year without adding a brood box. You know, normally if this were spring, I'd say let's get another box on there, but being that we're going into winter, they're going to consume some of this honey, and then the spots where they've consumed the honey throughout the winter, that's where they're going to start laying their babies.
Where do I want to put this empty one here?
Come this direction, because the empty one came from over here, so you're going to scoot all the frames this way. So we took a frame out on the my far left side there. But yeah, when they consume some of that honey this winter, they're going to start they're going to start laying eggs. The queen will start laying eggs where the honey was, so we should be okay just to cap it up like this. Close it up for the winter and be good to go. Yeah, they have a lot of honey in there. You're in a good area. All right, so you'll get that last frame there. Carefully put it in, and we'll close them up for the year. You can always take your hive tool and like put it way over here in the middle, and it'll squish all of them that way.
To have the one gap here, or a smaller gap.
Let me see the tool. I try to get it to where it's like even on both sides as best I can.
Okay.
Like kind of like that, to where there's a bit of the same gap here and here.
All the same in the middle.
Yeah, but yeah, you can put it in the middle and it'll push most of the frames. If it's not too sticky in there, it'll push them all over at once. So we use an inner cover here on a length straw, so we'll put on the inner cover and then put on the lid. And this is Rick's first year doing it. He looks like a pro. I brought him these hives back in, I think, May. And these were splits from my bees in Canyon Lake. And they seem to be doing good.
Texas bees.
Texas bees, yeah. We're going to close that one up and be done with it. And then we're going to open up this blue one here. All right, so hive number 2, Rick's going to open up here. Oh, just had a roach run inside. Big old roach is running around back and forth and went inside the hole.
They're pretty quiet, really.
Yeah, they seem to be all right.
Oh,
look, there's that. Whatever that bug is, you can just squish it.
I was expecting them to be more aggressive.
Yeah, I think you just probably irritated them earlier. Rick said earlier he was mowing and had 4 bees chase him and sting him. And so we were worried they're going to be a little crazy today because it's so late in the year. But Rick was trying out some beetle traps, which is something I don't normally do, but I think it's kind of all up in the air what Rick wants to do here with that. But they obviously work. I usually just let my bees just do their thing, and if their beetles are too bad, then it'll take out the hive, but that's never happened to me. As long as they don't get spilled in the hive, you're usually fine. See, it works, you know. It's not that it doesn't, but
I don't think it's worth the chance of spilling the oil. No more beetles than I caught in there.
Yeah. And like I said, some people use dryer sheets because you can just lay a dryer sheet across the top. But I've done that and it works, but it also doesn't seem much different coming into spring each year for my bees. It's like they just end up being just fine. They'll corral them all into the corner to keep them from being such a problem. All right, so Rick's gonna take a frame out to make some room. This hive does not seem to be as active. Instead of being on all the frames, it's like they're only on these middle 5 or so. This is how all the ones, oh, look, here they come. These are how all the ones are at my house right now. The ones I have in 10 frame boxes, they seem to only be on 5 frames right now. You see how when I puffed the smoker, it kind of shot some ashes into the hive? Gotta be kind of careful of that. So you split open a little bit of honey back here that they'll fix because it was connected. Yeah, they had it connected in there. Yeah, nice foundationless frame. But yeah, they're not really too thick in this box, you know. Sometimes I almost consider, do I put them in a 5 frame nuke for the winter? I don't know. I think I've usually left them in a 10 frame, but I don't know whether to say one way or the other is right. All right, that's a filled up frame with all capped honey and a little bit of pollen.
Unbelievable. It's thick. Look at that.
Oh yeah, goodness.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's some nice comb honey. Love to eat that, but this is all theirs. So yeah, that's good. I mean, they can still come out of winter just fine because, like I said, when spring starts, they might just build up really quickly. Even though they're only on 5 frames now, by the time winter is done, they might only be on 2 or 3 frames, and they still might actually turn into quite the hive. You never know. All right, so there's honey on one side, over to the right, some open cells, and then, oh, there's brood on this one. So there's some brood there. And now let's look for the queen.
Where are you seeing that?
These brown cells here, that's brood versus
okay.
Like underneath here seems to be,
Oh yeah.
that seems to be pollen right there underneath. And then this, of course, is capped honey.
Yeah, there's some uncapped brood right there.
Yeah, you can see the little
white.
See the little larvas in there.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, the queen could be somewhere nearby. You may want to check on that side to see if you see her, because these cells here might actually have. No, it doesn't seem to have any brood, and I don't see her walking around anywhere. So yeah, you're good. Now these bees are a little more testy than the wooden hive here, and a little more irritated. Smoker's somewhat dying here.
Does it seem like that when you start to pull out the frame that has the queen, that these bees get more aggressive, that they ramp up?
They can.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, and they'll change their tone a lot of times. Like with the bigger hives, whenever you pull the frame out that has the queen on it, their tone changes. Like they suddenly can tell that she's no longer in the box. All right, so I'm kind of looking here to see if I see the queen, because this is definitely a brood-looking frame that they're filling up with pollen now. All right, let's see the other side. I don't see her. Yeah, I'm not seeing her. She's somewhere around, you know. It seems to be like healthy and all that, but there's not like a distinguishable area of eggs or hatched larvae where I could imagine her being.
I have seen the queen in both of these hives.
And it's interesting because these splits from this year, and which is what 2 of these were 2 of my splits, their queens ended up very small. They were virgin queens purchased offline, and they're very little the couple times I've seen them. Look at all that pollen. That's all just pollen in there. Wow, let's see what this other side looks like here.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, that's all pollen there. It's nice and colorful.
Beautiful. Yeah. I would say this hive has tripled since I've had it also.
Yeah, it's a little slower to grow on the rest of the frames than this other one, but
it had way less when you brought it over there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing good.
It's grown, that's for sure.
So it looks like the back half of this frame you're about to pull out doesn't have anything. And then the front half seems to have a lot of capped honey. So she could be anywhere in here at this point. We don't really have confirmation on the queen, but she's in there, you know. and then that's just foundation. Well, cool. So Rick basically checked his 2 hives to make sure they're good going into winter. We were going to consolidate any frames if there were any gaps between combs, but there doesn't seem to be any.
You want to put them back just like they were, right?
Yeah, if you can help it. You know, I usually try to put them back the same way.
We don't need to change anything up.
No.
Make any frames.
No, they're all together, and they'll cluster up whenever the cold comes. Oop. There we go. We got 2 healthy hives. So I think whenever winter's done, I think these are going to be some good hives, and we'll start adding new brood boxes, let them get into a second brood box, and then hopefully start maybe getting a honey super on there this next year. So that about does it. Thanks for watching. So that was a fun little video of my friend Rick and I. Rick is a first-year beekeeper, and I took him those 2 hives this past spring. So this is his first year doing it, and he's doing really well. He's fully understanding everything. I've also asked him to please not treat those bees because they wouldn't be getting treated here at my place, and I want to show him that they do have really good capability to survive on their own. So he's going to let those bees go from that point throughout the rest of this winter, and we're going to open them up in spring and hope for the best. But anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Sorry for not posting very many videos or really any videos lately. There's just not a whole lot to do. I do have some videos filmed of me inspecting my bees for this fall, so I will try to get those posted up here pretty soon. Thanks for watching.